They told you had to move to Silicon Valley. You resisted and stayed in London. Tell us how you made that decision and what have been the pros and the cons.
Well, sort of, when we started DeepMind back in 2010, it was, it's hard to imagine today, just 15 years later, but almost nobody was working on AI, even in academia, let alone in industry. So it was a very unusual thing to try and raise venture capital for, and we had to find unusual investors in the West Coast. But I was wanting to stay in London. I mean, I grew up in London. I love London as an international city. But the main things were, I felt there was incredible talent in Europe and the UK that was untapped at the time for deep technologies like AI. And I felt that if we could set up an ambitious organization that was really trying to reach for the sky, those types of people would be attracted to work in a place like that. And we'd sort of have the field to ourselves in the UK at the time. And that's what transpired, and now, of course, hopefully DeepMind has been a good example for many other deep technology companies now to start up in Europe and in London, and we're proud to have played a part in that. But then the other really important thing was more from an ethical point of view, which is that even though 2010 seemed like a long way to go before we would make progress with AI, we planned for success. So at some point we imagined and we knew, even before setting up DeepMind, that if we were successful in this endeavor, AGI and AI would be one of the most important technologies ever invented. So if that's true, then, and it was possible to build it, then of course that would also come along with a lot of important ethical questions and ethical challenges about how to make sure it benefits all of society, and also technical questions around how we keep that kind of technology under control and on the right guardrails. So we already had at the beginning of DeepMind, we were planning for, if we were successful, then these ethical questions and tenets really would have to be built in from the beginning. So we've always had that in mind. And so where that comes with Europe is that I think it's the AI, and it's clear to everyone now, it's going to affect every corner of the world, every industry, all parts of society. So I think it's important for the world to have a say in how this technology is developed, not just a small part of, California. And I think Europe's voice in that, I think, is really important, and the value systems that we have in Europe. So I think you can only have that kind of influence if you're also at the leading edge technologically. And that's what we've tried to wave the flag for with DeepMind and do our part in that.